Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very sunny Latimer Park this afternoon for this Evo Stick Southern League game. Kettering Town, the Poppies, against Chalfont St Peter, the Saints. And Ed, at 8 o'clock this morning, we had a pitch inspection. It looked a bit touch and go by all accounts, but luckily the game has gone ahead, and well done to all those involved in getting this pitch prepared, ready for this vital game against the in-form side in the league this season. So, this season, beating the Poppies, of course, form guide, who went down at Bedworth United on that artificial surface on Tuesday, Ed. I didn't witness that game, you did. Yeah. And was it the surface? Was it a lack of tempo? What happened, Ed?
I don't know. To blame the surface would be a little bit excuse-like, we were looking for excuses. I think it wasn't a great performance from Kettering at all. There were every pass we seemed to make went to the wrong player. And every completed pass we made was just in the centre of the pitch. It wasn't going in forward anywhere. I think we only had a couple of shots on target, if that. The game didn't flow very well at all. I think the referee, some people say he didn't have a lot of chance, but it was very stop-start. I lost count with the amount of yellow cards given out in that game for both teams. It was just 9. I think it was getting to the point. It was just every little discrepancy was a booking in some case, and there was no. Every time one team got a bit of momentum up, it was stopped immediately because the referee had stopped the game for a foul and given his card out. He clearly hadn't heard of the advantage rule and stopped the game at every possible opportunity. But it wasn't a great performance I don't think any Poppies player could come off the pitch and say they had a good performance that game.
Speaking to Tom Bailey after the Potters Bar victory last weekend, he said that he was going to look at team selection rather closely because of the effects that the 3G surface can have on certain players. And there were quite a few changes in that game, and as there are today, Ed, we do have them, the Kettering Town team, and it is quite different to the lineup that appeared at Bedworth. And Ed, if you want to go through that lineup, it's quite interesting with Richard Knight making his home debut. And Richard played against Bedworth. He came from Cambridge City and has played for various clubs. I think Carlisle United, Macclesfield Town, and Cambridge City was his last port of call. And a little while also we'll be interviewing Alan Doyle, who's in the shed at the moment. He's having a cup of tea as we speak. Oh no, he's not drinking a cup of tea. But we're speaking to Alan Doyle. But Ed, we'll bring you the team news and Kettering Town on it for today against Chalfont St Peter.
Yep, so in goal, number 1, Richard Knight, who, as you said, makes his home debut today. Number 2, Ash Robinson, starts at right back for the suspended Clifton. 3 is Steve Kinneborough, captain again today. Excuse me. Number 4, Tommy Hull. That's Andy Hall. But number 4 is Tommy Hull, who goes into the centre of midfield. Numbers 5, Jason Lee, starting at centre back alongside that man. Number 6, Brett Sulkin, the light switcher on.
Yes, how did that go, I wonder?
I'm not sure. Number 7 is Dubiog Bonner, taking his place on the right wing for today's game. David Kolodinsky is actually at number 9. He starts up front. James Jepson's at number 8. Claudio Herban is number 11, and Ed Andy's number 10. So a 4-4-2. Subs today: Andy Gooding, Nathan Marsh, 14 John Bukasa, 15 Rebus Richard Knoll, and 16 under-21 player Andrew Watts.
Well, there's the team lineup. It is quite different. Of course, Andrew Watts, who we haven't got a team photo of there, is the under-21 player under Mitch Austin's successful team. And he's scored, I think, a goal overhead kick in the 4-1 win over CV Reds last week. So another under-21 player that has broken into the first team squad. Well, Chalfont St Peter were the last side that the Poppies drew in any game 37 games ago. 1-1 here last season, and were 1-0 ahead, but they fought back to draw that game 1-1. And of course, in the FA Cup earlier in the season, Chalfont surprised the Poppies by winning 1-0 with their only shot on target. Some say that was a rather fluky goal, and the amount of chances that the Poppies had to progress in that game were undeniably frustrating to watch. But also that game is the Poppies' highest attendance of the season so far, 696. So Ed, it's going to be a very, very difficult game against a team that is in form, 6 games on the bounce of winning, propelling themselves from the lower regions of the Evo Stick table to 5th place, and only 11 points behind the Poppies, so with the same games played. So Alan Headley scored the goal in the FA Cup that knocked Kettering out, and no doubt they'll be trying to put another one over the Poppies. You just seem to be having a problem here. You've got a nice Kettering cold, is it?
Yes, I've got a nice cough, so I do apologise for the noises that I make whilst coughing.
Well, as we mentioned there, Andy Hall and James Clifton are suspended for this game. Hall for his sending off at Aylesbury FC a few weeks ago, and Clifton for accumulating 5 bookings. But I think both should be available next week for Hanwell.
Since he's got those 5 bookings, I think he's actually got 2 more.
He has. Yes, he's already on the next suspension with 2 more bookings. So, but he's a very committed player, and his blood and thrust, let's say, attitude is certainly something Kettering need to steal up the back 4. So there we go. Well, Ed, you are struggling a little bit, so we will introduce our guest. Is ex-Kettering Town manager, technical director of the Poppies this season. He's also chief scout and bottle washer. Let's call him here. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's none other than Mr. Alan Doyle. Let's have him on there. Yes. Alan. He's making his way over. The crowd are going wild as he's coming in here, and
rapturous applause.
Rapturous applause. Welcome, Alan. It's your first appearance on Poppies TV, and welcome to it. Don't know what you think of our little studio, but
yes, it's very very workable anyway.
Well, as we said, Alan was past Poppies manager, also at Histon, and has taken on the role as technical director. Perhaps, Alan, you can inform our viewers what your actual role is within the Poppies this season.
Yeah, I'm the same as for most of the last season, technical football director. I got a remit with the chairman on football matters. I'm the link between the board and the management. The 2 managers I'm daily talking to on the phone, emails, etc., etc. I watch most of the opposition we play. I go scouting for players. So as far as the first team are concerned, I'm very involved in everything. I mean, I give my opinions. Anybody who knows me know that I'm pretty
No, surely not.
Forthright on my opinions. So I give them. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. Hopefully, I think that we've raised the standard of the players. We've got some quality players. Whether we've got the quality team to do it is another matter. We're top of the league, so that means that we are. But I think we could do better. Football's all about balance and getting the right. We had a problem at centre half, and Brett's gone there. Wasn't doing particularly well in the middle of the park. Gone at the back and looked a well beater, And as far
obviously that has proven critical, hasn't it, in Brett's career, because he's now switching lights on.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a good. He does some coaching for me on Monday nights with the youth setup, which I'm involved in as well. So,
can you talk us a bit about the youth? I mean, that's one of the primary reasons you're here, because you did ask me a little while ago in our matchday programme to promote the youth section. You do need some people to give you a hand.
We do, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we've started from scratch this season. I was heavily involved with the chairman and Thomas to give some help as well to get the scholars off the ground, which I think is a good thing. We've got like 18, 19 first year. We'll have another 25 next year, so there'll be up 45, 50 scholars. We'll be in the FA Youth Cup next year. So that was the first remit. We've got a link now between someone joining the club at 5, 6 years of age, all the way through to leaving school, going academically into Kettering Science Academy and having 2 years of football. So the link is there. We've got Mitch now with the under-21s, which is the next stage. And then obviously the first team. It's great to see, the lad on the wing making a great debut and showing that you can go join the club, you can become part of the club, and you can go right to the first team.
Because Rebus has done well, hasn't he, since he's been with us? He's only 17 years old.
He's a very talented lad. He's very calm on the ball. He shows great temperament, and he's got skill and everything. But the thing is, with the youth setup, what's happened? We do training on a Monday night. Primarily, we start with under 10s and under 12s, and then the next hour we have under 14s and under 15s.
Alan, how can people that are watching this who've got young kids, etc., who want to be involved with the Poppies, how can they get involved in it? How can they join what's starting?
Well, if they go onto our official website, they find my phone number in the community section on there. They can come up to me anytime here or approach any of the board members. My phone numbers, I believe, is on the website and everything. What we need now is we're to the next stage, is that I'm going to start passing the Monday nights over to other people, and I'm going to try and build up the other sections, because what I've found that we really need for each section, we need a development team for people who want to be part of Kettering, primarily again, where their parents have been Kettering Town supporters for many years, and their dream is that their young boy or their grandson will be playing for Kettering. They'll probably be we're probably getting the Weetabix League next season, so there'll be what I call a community team, right? So the other team, to be quite honest, will be better players, but they will be in the development team. So we have to differentiate, because what I've found since I've been doing it is that when a really good player comes and he trains with not so good players, he don't come back. You know what I mean? So we have to, if we want it to succeed and we want to produce our own players, which, to be honest with you, the level we're playing at now, and hopefully the Southern League Premier next year and then onwards from there, is that we have to start producing players. I want to see 3 or 4 on the bench every week. You know what I mean?
The step up, though, from the lower levels of the progression from under 18s, under 21s to first team football is quite immense. We've had it in the past where we've had youth teams and under 21s teams, but I know we were playing in the conference in those days, and there's a tremendous gulf. Is the gulf as big, do you think, from where we are now or not?
No, it's not. No, it's the standard. It goes up every year. You get the top 6 teams in any league would do well in that league, but the bottom ones are not so good. So I don't think the biggest progression for youth players is to step up from boys to men's football. That's the one. Some of them can do it, like the lad did the other week and everything, but to do it all the time on a regular basis is very hard. But I don't think it's, when you was in the Conference North, it was a different step. The standard, the pace, the power, the physique they have these days, that's what we're trying to do with the first team. We're trying to get the progression that players can play in the next league, and then we've got to look for better all the time. That's part of my job.
Let's have a word about another part of your job. You've mentioned briefly there that you've done scouting and you do watch the opposition. Have you watched today's opponents? We've played them here already, obviously.
Yeah.
But, have you watched them recently? Their form has been quite impressive, hasn't it, in the last 6 games?
It's quite a funny one, because I've done the report when we played them in the FA Cup, and we didn't quite play the tactics that I thought we should have done. But no, they're a big, strong side, and they're a defensive side. So I think that.
Alan, they have scored an enormous amount of goals recently. And,
I've seen them a couple of times, and they're teams that we can beat. They're physically strong, but I think if we can get the lads going as a unit and go from 4-4-2 to playing 4-2-4, especially in home matches, the pitch is going to be heavy. But to have a front four of Claudio, Elliot, Sandy, Colo, and Doobie,
it's impressive, isn't it?
I thought I've been at the club now for nearly 3 years, and the bench the other night was the best bench in that 33 months, including any bench we had in the conference.
And we lost.
And we lost. So that's another clue as well. But no, I think the thing is, football's not easy. You can't just predict. You can't just say you're playing a team, and the thing that everybody has to realise every time they come here, it's every team's biggest match.
Well, the celebration that Ed Palmer was talking about earlier on when Bedworth beat Kettering on Tuesday, you'd have thought they'd have won the FA Cup, especially former goalkeeper Denham Hines, who was leaping around like a demented gazelle.
Well, I was at Barton last season when I see the scenes there, so I know what it does. Sometimes they go over the top, but it's a huge match for everybody. So every time we come here, we've got the thing is with the pitch and with the type of players we've got the ability, but you have to win the battle first. You win the battle, it's easy after that.
I was going to mention to Ed, but Ed wasn't with us that long. He'll be back in a few moments. But Chalfont beat Royston Town 2-1 on Tuesday when we were losing to Bedworth, and they did that in front of 50 fans. Incredible when you consider our average is 596, and the likes of the Chalfonts, the Potters Bars, don't raise to 100. Alan, why is that? How can these teams compete at the same level as the Poppies and have the really low attendances, and they can still compete, they can still challenge? We're getting nearly 600 and 700 occasionally, and it's a difficult one.
Well, I must admit that my last 2 years in scouting, I've been to places I've never been to before, you know, and Chalfont was one of them when they played rugby earlier in the season prior to our FA Cup game, and it's another kettle of fish. But I love the small teams with the 3 or 4 people running the club, the same bloke on the door, the same bloke who sells the burgers. Well, no, I think the biggest attraction to me at Kettering, coming here nearly 3 years ago, is the fans. I mean, it's a fantastic fan base. You know, it just the atmosphere. You come here. You know, I've watched Conference North games this season, Conference South games, and you know, there's nobody there watching them, even at that level.
Really?
You know, you come to our place and you go in the bar before and it's packed.
Sorry, the bar, was that?
Yeah, in the bar before the game, and you know, and it's packed like an hour before the game, and that's what makes the club, you know. And the thing is, you know, people say about forums and all that. With the average football supporter knows a fair bit about the game. You know, some of them don't, but a lot of them do, and they, you know, they pick up on things. You know, you're not strong enough here, and you're not strong enough there, and I think with social media as it is these days, you got to learn to live with that. You know, and
exactly.
They become even more part of the club. And I think my remit with Richie, and Richie's the same, is that we want to get as high as we can, as quick as we can, but we want to take everybody with us because the potential here is fantastic.
You can see out there the pitch behind me and Alan there, and it is very heavy. There's been a lot of sand put down on one side. That was the contentious part, Alan, wasn't it, from the referee this morning down the side where the camera is, which you can't see. There's a lot of sand down by the where the linesman runs up and down. I didn't know until today that the linesman now can't switch sides. It's an FA ruling now where they have to run up and down the same section of pitch, which seems a bit stupid at our level, but there we have it. They have to stay on the same side. So it might be a thought next season probably to actually astroturf those two stretches, because they're going to get worn to shreds, aren't they?
That's true,
especially with the wet conditions we have the last moment. Well, Alan, that's great to have you on.
I just want you one more thing. That Ed, who's going to take over for me now, is one of the people, the type of people that we need. He's currently running our under 15 teams. He's very enthusiastic.
He's going great.
Yeah, he's very enthusiastic and he's doing really well. And please, if you can help out, you know, even if you're carrying a medal kit on a Saturday or come to the odd training session and watch the lads and everything, please come forward, and we need you all. Okay.
Well, there you are. Thank you very much, Alan. That's great there news then. If you do want to get involved with the Poppies at any level, please get in contact with the club or Alan in particular, and we can certainly get you on the road to be involved with a great setup. And Alan's doing a fantastic job, and all credit to him for that and his team of people. Well, joining me back now alongside me once again is Ed. You've just listened to that praise there from Mr. Doyle, very charming man,
yes,
and a lot of knowledge there from Alan. We didn't get into his scouting roles, or we didn't get into his managing Brazil, but certainly he's a great ambassador to the club and someone to be around the development of Kettering Town Football Club. Well, back to today's game. We've mentioned there that Chalfont are on an impressive run, but there's some other good fixtures today, Ed, isn't there?
Yes, so, we have a few big ones, especially at the top of the table. Bedworth United play on that 3G pitch against Egham Town today. Also Leighton host Hanwell Town as well, two of the teams pushing for our top spot. Well,
Hanwell, of course, we play next week in what was going to be a top of the table clash. It may still be, they're only in third place, but they have lost their leading goal scorer, Lewis Putnam, who has joined rivals Aylesbury United. What a strange move. There was rumour, and only rumour, that the Poppies were involved in looking at Lewis, but he's gone to the Ducks. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, strange one that. I don't know how far we got with trying to sign him. I would have thought we'd probably been more of a catch, shall we say, than Aylesbury United. But
I believe we put an approach in, but that's as
it
far
all
as
depends, of course. Maybe we probably thought how much starting time would he get here. We've obviously got a strong attacking squad, so how much time he would get to start, and whether he'd want to be left on the bench quite a bit. But
I think what was strange to me, though, Ed, is that Hanwell are in second place. He's the leading goal scorer in the league. He's on a dual registration from Wilston in the Conference South. Why not stay at Hanwell? Was the offer that good at Aylesbury? Who knows? We don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. It was only a loan deal, wasn't it? To Hanwell from
Wilston?
Yes, Wealdstone. And so I presume he's now left Wealdstone completely and gone to Aylesbury.
So we play those. We play Aylesbury in a few weeks' time. So we will meet Lewis again. Well, not again, but we will meet him instead of the game against Hanwell. So yes, we will be on air next week at Hanwell, and that will still be a classic game, as will today. A few other fixtures, if you're interested. Daventry Town play Godalming Town, and Uxbridge play Rugby Town. David Kolodinsky again starts today, his first start at home, as with Richard Knight. But well, we do have a few other things, a few Christmas carols and etc. coming up. We want to try and invigorate our sort of watchers, viewers here to the Christmas carol service, and I believe it's Beer and Carols that
Beer and Carols.
Never heard that one before.
Don't know who Carol is, but
don't know who Carol is or the beer, but jingle bells, beer all the way seems to be the way. But there we go. We have a service at the Kettering Arts Centre, St Andrew's Church in Rockingham Road. I think that's opposite Sainsbury's, and that is on Wednesday the 10th of December. And it's in conjunction with Potbelly Brewery, a nice conjunction there. So we'll be all there, hopefully there. We are celebrating 100 years of when football stopped the World War. There have been many images on the TV recently of football matches being played on the trenches on Christmas Eve, something that traditionally for those years was immense, considering the carnage that World War brings to all countries out.
Yes, it's very strange that happened in the first year, and there were still 4 more years after that as well.
Is that the way they did the World Cup then? Because every 4 years they.
Yes, there we go.
It started from, but anything that's raised on December the 10th there will go to 2 trusts: the Dylan Cecil Trust, our own Dylan Cecil Trust, and the Lullaby Trust. So it'd be great if you could come along and show your support. That's at Kettering Arts Centre, St Andrew's Church on Wednesday, December the 10th. Be there or be square, as they say. And then the Poppies Trust have a Christmas raffle, which has been launched and will take place on the 19th of December here at Latimer Park. And again, get your vocal cords going, because we'll have Christmas carols and shows, concert, and the draw will be made on the night. There are plenty of prizes. Hamper prizes, I believe, in the region of £150. So that'll be nice for those of you that have large families or small families for Christmas. Extra food and drink at the festive time of the year. This is our penultimate game